Okay, good. So you know that we are nearing the end of Unit 2, and within Unit 2 we've read so many different literature texts. Today we're reading our third piece of text, and it is titled The Amigo Brothers, but it's titled Amigo Brothers. Okay. As we read literature, we know we do so many different things. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at your guiding question, which is here for you. And based on this guiding question, we're going to choose where we're going to start reading today, or what our purpose for reading is. So I'm just going to read the question out loud to you, okay? Based on the key events and analysis of the characters, describe how Antonio and Felix balance friendship and the demands of competition. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there's a photograph on our paper. Usually good readers look at the photographs in the text, or they flip through the text before they start to read, right?
Yes.
So I see something that might give me a clue about what I'm reading about. There's really only one photograph in there.
Oh.
And you probably see that there's a boxing match. Yes. So we know the main characters' names are Antonio and Felix, and it says balancing friendship and the demands of competition. So maybe that idea of competition is going to come in with the boxing gloves. So that might be a conflict, exactly. So looking at this question though, where do you think we should start with our annotations, or what should we be thinking about as we begin to read Amigo Brothers? What do you think, Kyle? As we're reading, we're thinking about probably the key events, right? So we know that as sixth graders, so we can easily summarize, but we usually take it a little bit deeper and we think about why the key events are so important. And we're using that word of justification. We're proving why the key events are important. Now, since we're nearing the end of the unit, you also might be able to analyze the characters while you're noticing those key events. Okay? And when we analyze the characters, we can think of their traits, their motivations, their feelings, their thoughts. You all know it. Okay? When we're done with this text, we will end up doing a close read to look at that balance of friendship and competition. Okay? I'm going to be starting reading with PJ today, but I will be checking in with all of our annotations. If you're reading on your Chromebooks, please make sure that you're recording those thoughts on the paper next to you. Capiche? Okay. Have fun.
Antonio Cruz and Felix. Oh wait, actually, I'm gonna read this.
Okay, good idea.
Harry Thompson, 1928-2011, was a writer and poet best known for his memoir Down These Main Streets. Thompson was born to a Puerto Rican mother and a Cuban father. During his childhood, Thompson lived in East Harlem, which became known as the Spanish Harlem. In the short story, two best friends become competitors when they must fight each other in a boxing match. As you read, you must take notes what the two friends feel after they find out they will be fighting each other. So, I think this is kind of this might be a later in the text. Antonio Cruz and Felix Vargas were both 17 years old. They were so together in friendship that they felt themselves to be brothers. They had known each other since childhood, growing up on the Lower East Side of Manhattan at the same tenement. I actually don't know what this is. Large building that has apartments. Okay. On 5th Street between Avenue A and Avenue B. Antonio was fair, lean, and lanky, while Felix was dark, short, and husky. Antonio's hair was always falling in his eyes, and Felix wore his black hair in a natural afro style. Description
Okay, so we know that we're trying to think about key events, right? So, have you seen a key event so far? Or why is the author including these first 2 paragraphs in the text?
It's kind of introducing us to the characters.
Right, and that academic vocabulary that is used for introduction of the characters and the setting is?
They're doing the exposition.
Absolutely, they're doing exposition. So if I look back at this first paragraph specifically, okay, the author is writing with a certain tone. Now, if we think about the tone of that first paragraph,
It's kind of just stating facts about them.
sure, so he's stating facts about Antonio and he's stating facts about Felix, but I see that the author's tone is establishing the closeness of these two
bond.
boys. The bond, exactly, the bond,
Bond
that
of
they
each
have.
other.
Exactly. Do you see anything that sort of shows the bond that they have as
They
friends?
felt themselves to be brothers.
Exactly. Yeah.
They've
So
known
he's
each other since childhood.
yeah, so he's establishing the friendship that they have. Okay. I love that you noticed a new or interesting word, tenement building, right? And you said
Living. Or like an area to live.
okay, so if I took that out, they live in the east side of Manhattan in the same tenement building. So what kind of it's describing the building.
Yes.
So what kind of building do you think that is? They're living in a city, they're living in New York.
Large.
The large building. Where would they be living? Where would somebody live in a city?
A condo.
Yeah, like an apartment building.
The same condo
right?
building.
Yeah, a building that has apartments.
Okay.
Okay.
A large building that has apartments for them.
Yeah, are you ready for paragraph 3? Okay.
Each youngster had a dream of someday becoming the lightweight champion of the world. They have the same dream, so. Dream. Every chance they had, the boys worked out. Sometimes at the boys' club at 10th Street on Avenue A, and sometimes at the pros gym on 14th Street. Early morning sunrises would find them running along the East River Drive, wrapped in sweatshirts, short towels around their neck, and handkerchiefs. Peach? Apach? Apach?
You're trying, right? Why do you finish a sentence?
Style around their
There
foreheads.
you go. So what is this paragraph developing for you as a reader?
That they have a dream and they're both trying to get to that dream. They're both
What's that
trying to accomplish becoming the lightweight champion of the world.
And the lightweight champion of the world relates to?
The boxing gloves.
Boxing, good. So we were looking at this word, right? So it's really just describing the way the handkerchief is around their foreheads. So how do you think the handkerchief looks around their forehead?
Just like kind of like a bandana.
Yeah, so truly, to be honest, PJ, sometimes there's gonna be words that you just don't know. The most important thing to do is figure out what that word means. Okay, I love how you were trying to sound it out, but we can also think like, just what would it mean in the context of the sentence, okay? Okay.
Well, some youngsters were into street negatives. Antonio and Felix slept